Alright, yo. This is my first video, this style of video. But I wanted to try something a little different. I want to talk about how the WNBA is great, and it has always been great. That's the thing. I'm just starting to get into it, and I'm a prisoner of the moment with Caitlin Clark for sure. But what it's done for me, and what I hope it's done for other fans, is that it's let them see how good other players really are. As much of the drama between Diana Taurasi and Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, all these spotlights, which I will get into a little more in this video, there are some very good players. You'll see some clips in the background right now, and it's just amazing players all throughout the league. So the people watching now, I think, need to have a little more respect for their game, which I'll get into a little later as well.
I got a question, and this is not a shot at women in basketball.
Well, good, because you're going to be in your race.
Listen, I had this talk. I think, man, not your average fans, people that don't watch WNBA basketball, what can we do to get those fans to tune in? And I was like, why can't we lower the goal to at least 9.5 feet? Okay. Because I think for somebody that don't watch WNBA basketball, to have women dunking on other women would definitely bring more excitement to that game, and have, those guys that don't watch WNBA basketball tune in, and you get more fans that way. What do you think about that?
I mean, my thought on it is, I've been playing basketball on a 10-foot hoop my whole life. So to move it to 9.5, it's going to take a long time to get used to that. And then also, we're only playing basketball to dunk? I'm not sure.
One of the most controversial topics for the WNBA so far has been some rule changes, like lowering the rim. And as you can see in this clip, T-Mac just proposes to Breanna Stewart, hey, what if we lowered it for the more casual fans? And clearly Breanna Stewart didn't really like that. She felt a little slighted, she felt a little disrespected. And I could see where she's coming from. I mean, if I was practicing on a 10-foot rim my whole life and then now you want to change it, that would throw my game off entirely. On the other hand, I do know where T-Mac is coming from. And this goes into another topic I kind of want to get into, with Caitlin Clark being snubbed off Team USA. I have enough respect for their game to understand why they want the 10-foot rim, why they want these good players playing. But I also think that they need to grow their game. I think it's a great game, and there are some changes that can be made to grow their game. For instance, Caitlin Clark being on Team USA. Maybe they don't lower the rim. I mean, it's not lowered across the world. It's fine. I'm just saying, for the WNBA, there's definitely some changes that can be made to grow their game, which is going to lead us into our next topic, because it's not really changes rules wise. It's more of these two players coming up, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, that have something to say about it.
And Angel Reese knows a ring is coming.
Okay, so let's get into these two. I never got to see Bird, Magic, Jordan. I barely got to see Kobe. I mean, I was super young when he won his first three. I was a baby. But my point is, when I watch Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, there's something about this rivalry that is just so fun to watch. And they give me this feeling, like, we don't see it much in the NBA. We see these rivalries, but they're not, like, the last one I remember really is LeBron and Steph, and we haven't seen that in a while. So, and they didn't even come up in the same era. LeBron's just been, the engine's been going for so long that he's able to have these rivalries with multiple different teams and players. So when we go into the Caitlin Clark conversation and the Angel Reese, they have this kind of coming up through college, you know, and they're going to have a career that lasts about the same time, hopefully. And they'll be fighting for that number 1 spot for a while. And here's the thing. People clown Angel Reese for her layup attempts and she's getting her own rebounds. Look, she's dominant. When you watch her play, she is dominant. And there's no doubt about that. I mean, 10 straight double-doubles is crazy. Double-double in the All-Star game against Team USA. She is phenomenal. And Caitlin Clark, we know what she does already. I mean, she's been broadcasted to national television pretty much since Iowa. So we know what she's about. And I'm just excited for the future of the WNBA because of these two women. They've shown me how great other players are and inspired me to make a video on it. I've always wanted to. I felt like I could get the hype on it. I liked the WNBA, but I never watched it enough to feel comfortable making a video on it. Even now, I'm very uneducated on a lot of this stuff. Still trying to educate myself, is fairly new. But Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are the real deal. Okay, some of my hopes for the WNBA. Let's get into them. I'm hopeful for one, like the last topic, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, to be the next big thing. I want them to grow their game and be more accepting to some of these new players. I know there's some underlying jealousy. If you clicked on the video, you've probably seen a lot of these clips. I'm not going to show them here. Just look up WNBA jealousy. I'm sure you'll find some clips on YouTube. But that's kind of my point. I don't want that to be something you could do. I want it to be WNBA highlights, WNBA like close game, you know, those close game ESPN 10-minute videos. Like, I want to see those, you know what I mean? I want to see those, the last 3 minutes, LA Sparks versus Indiana Fever, must watch or whatever bullshit, you know? I want to be able to see this kind of stuff for the WNBA. Now, what do I realistically envision for it? I think it's still going to be a slow burner. I feel like this hype might die a little bit. But at the same time, basketball fans do want to watch the WNBA. At least in my opinion. I'm a basketball fan, and I love watching their games. They're high octane. The girls are bumping with each other. Very physical. The shooting percentages are down, but I think most of it is because these girls aren't able to dunk. Very few of them can dunk. As an NBA player, a lot of times it's best to just go and finish it. One of the things when LeBron blocked Iguodala, he said he should have just dunked it. There's kind of things that the NBA has to raise their percentages because they can take these high percentage shots like a dunk rather than having to do an acrobatic layup, which they're very skilled at. I've seen some very tough layups by these girls, but to be forced to do an acrobatic layup over a defender rather than rise up on them makes it a little more difficult, I think, for these shooting percentages. So they're forced to take the low percentage mid-range shot a lot more in these tough layups rather than the percentages we're shooting in the NBA as men. But to end the little tangent with this, I think women in the WNBA will grow their game. Maybe not exponentially. I don't know if it'll ever reach the NBA's level.
I hope so. Okay.
I do know this though. The game is fun to watch, and if you just gave it a chance, I think you'd really enjoy it. That's all I got for you guys. Hope you have a good one. Subscribe, like if you did. Peace.